Smack-a-magob, everybody. It is a donation from Terry Mata that wants me to put W.A.S.P versus Kiss, not album versus album, like the songs against the songs from different albums. This was done before by Terry with Kiss versus who? Ghost. So now Terry wants me to put Kiss versus W.A.S.P. So here we go. Number one, Black Diamond versus The Heretic. I'm going with Black Diamond. Love them both, though. I Stole Your Love versus Ball Crusher. Gotta go with Kiss. Strutter 78 versus Headless Children. That one's really close, but I'm going with Headless Children. Exciter versus Thunderhead. Exciter. I love Thunderhead. Fits Like a Glove versus Mean Man. Definitely going with W.A.S.P on that one. Mean Man. Unholy versus The Real Me. Unholy. You give it to Unholy. Snowblind versus Tormentor. This is the toughest one, man. I'm gonna have to go with Tormentor. So close. All right. Then we got Young and Wasted versus Blind in Texas. Hands down. Young and Wasted. Hands down. Next. Creatures of the Night versus Sex Drive. Creatures of the Night. I love Sex Drive, though. It's a fun song. God of Thunder versus Revel in the FDG. God of Thunder. Every version. All right. What's next? While the City Sleeps versus I Want to Be Somebody. Man, I love them both a lot. I really do love While the City Sleeps. Love that song, but I'm going with W.A.S.P. Rip It Out versus Love Machine. Another real tough one, but I'm giving that one a Love Machine, man. All right, next. War Machine versus B.A.D. Definitely War Machine. Partners in Crime versus School Days. School Days. Partner in Crime is terrible to these ears. Not to your ears. To these ears. All right. 1,000,000 to 1 versus Sleeping in the Fire. That's really tough, but I'm giving that to Kiss, man. Barely. Love 1,000,000 to 1. Deuce versus The Hellion. Another tough one, but I'm going with The Hellion. I think The Hellion's more of a badass song. Under the Gun versus On Your Knees. They're both cool, but On Your Knees, I think, is about 3.5 trillion times better than Under the Gun. All right, next. 100,000 Years versus Widowmaker. Man, I'm going with Widowmaker, seriously. Love 100,000 Years, but I think Widowmaker's the better song. Now the final one. Strange Ways versus Torture Never Stops. Another tough one, but I'm going with Strange Ways. Barely with Strange Ways. So, if you tally it up, I believe Kiss got 9 and W.A.S.P got 10. Yes, just one more. So there you go, Terry. That's a big list there I just did for you. And I want to thank you. And if you like donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not. So, stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. And smack-a-magob. Before we get canceled, check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with me and Wattzilla. We are the Podcast Kings. Link to the podcast is in the description below, and also a link to the YouTube page. Check out older episodes with visuals. And very soon, either Ian and I will learn how to go on YouTube Live. Might be soon. So check out the greatest podcast ever according to Science.com. It's also God's favorite podcast and Satan's favorite podcast as well. So check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast before we get canceled.